22 Mafia, what's the deal with y'all boys, man? It's your boy Mel. Back with another vid, man. And today we are going to be talking about how to be a player or playa, but a gentleman, man. Because a lot of dudes, y'all don't get that you could still be a gentleman and a player at the same time, bro. Them two can be one. You just got to know how to run your uck. And today I'm going to give you all the tips you need to know how to run your uck and be a player, but a gentleman with it. You feel me? And be respectful, bro. Because a lot of niggas be thinking being player is lying and manipulating and all this weird shit. That ain't player. A real deal true player is a nigga who lets a girl know what's up and still gets his way anyway. You feel me? So if you gotta lie, manipulate, and any of that weird shit to get your way or get what you want, can you really say you're P? Can you really say you're a player? I don't know, man. I'm not the police of that. You feel me? But in my opinion, you're not P. But let's get into this, bro. Let's get into it.
And I learned that to be fake, and they just wanna eat off your plate. On my plate, I'm getting that chicken, and he just be in your face. So I'm keeping the grass still low. Can't leave no room for snakes. Try to see these niggas win. They was hoping that I can't.
The first tip is not being the nice guy who is always agreeable, man. A lot of niggas don't understand this, bro. And if you really want to be a player, you cannot be the nice guy who's always agreeable, because you're never going to get your way. She's never going to bend to your rules and play by your programming because you're nice. You're nice. You're doing everything you can in your power to make sure she stays happy so that you don't make her mad and she won't leave you. When you got a weak mindset like that, you can never be player. I upset girls all the time. And I'm not going to say you should upset girls all the time, but y'all not going to agree or see or have the same perspective on everything. So it's going to be discourse within y'all situationship, relationship, whatever the case may be. And if she can notice when you just telling her what she wants to hear and just super agreeable. Girls can tell. You feel me? Because they dealt with guys who aren't as agreeable and don't tell them what they want to hear and is honest about the way they feel and the way they think upon certain things. So when she compares that type of guy to you, she can tell the difference instantly if you're just a super agreeable guy who's just going with what she says and trying to cater to her. And it will be a turn off, you feel me? Because she feel like she already won and like you're under her programming, and it there's no chase, there's no mysteriousness, it's nothing, bro. It's just like an act being put up, but she can see that you're acting. So never be the super agreeable type of guy. Now, being honest but wording it different. This is something that a lot of niggas, and a skill that a lot of niggas need to learn and grow. Like, you feel me? Because when you expand your vocabulary and you could add more fluff to what you're saying and get your way. That's what I'll say. You can add more fluff to what you're saying and get your way. Because what you got to understand about being player but a gentleman, this is like the main key component to being a player but being a gentleman at the same time, is being able to have a way with your words. Because you can't just outright say, I want to fuck you and fuck with other girls at the same time. You can't just outright say that. That's not gentlemanlike. That's disrespectful in their eyes. It's you being honest, but it will be taken as disrespect. So you can't really word it like that. You feel me? And that's when being able to be honest but wording it in a different way to alter what she say in a response so you can have your way is important. You feel me? So, for example, if you're not looking for a relationship and you want to have an open relationship and have multiple girls and not just be stuck with one, You can't just outright say that. So eventually, when you're talking to this girl and things are getting more serious, she's going to naturally ask you, are you in a relationship, or are you interested in being in a relationship with me? Something along those lines. And when you get hit with that, you just tell her, right now, I'm not interested in being in any long-term relationship because I'm focusing on myself. And this is not a lie. This is not a lie, because you should be focusing on yourself, and you should be focusing on whatever you got going. Me personally, I'm a content creator. I make YouTube videos, I make TikToks, I make Instagram reels, I work, I make music. I got a lot of different things that I'm interested in. I go to the gym, read books, all these different type of things that take up a lot of my time, which hinders me from being able to be in a relationship, because when you're in a relationship, you got to give that person time, and yeah, it's just time consuming. So I'm not really looking for a relationship. You feel me? So I'm not lying when I say this is actually true, but I'm just leaving out certain aspects of me wanting to deal with other women as well as being with her. Now, she can't get mad about this. Why? Because we're not in a relationship, and I never promised her we was going to be exclusive. You feel me? So it's green. It's green. It's green. It's an unpatchable method. Now, if you just outright, yeah, I want to fuck with you and fuck with other bitches outright, I mean, you can do that, but it got to be certain archetypes. You can't just do that with all girls across the board. It's certain girls that you could do that with, and 9 times out of 10, those are the girls that are high interest, that have a lot of interest in you and is willing to put up with anything you want because they want you that bad. Then that's when you could just outright, just straight honesty. But with this, you're still being honest, but you're just wording it in a different way and leaving out certain parts. Now, tip number 3 is putting her in her place, but in a respectful way. A lot of dudes think to put a girl in her place, you gotta grab necks and you gotta yell and be loud and all this extra shit. You don't gotta do none of that, bro. You don't gotta do none of that to put a woman in her place. You feel me? Like, cause then it just becomes a barking battle. And 9 times out of 10, bro, she's used to niggas getting loud with her and arguing with niggas all the time. So that's not gonna make her calm down or make her stop yelling or make her stop calling you out your name by you calling her out of her name. It's just gonna get more disrespectful if it's gonna do anything. You feel me? So the respectful way and the right way to put a girl in her place is not meeting her at where she's at. So if she's giving you a lot of sass, she's getting loud, and she calling you out your name, you don't do the same. You're a man, nigga. Set the tone. What the fuck are you doing? Set the tone, nigga. You're a man. You're a man. So, and you may be asking, like, how do I set the tone? How do I put her in her place without matching her energy? Bro, it's simply by being in your own energy and not bending to her will and what she wants. Because she wants you to get loud. She wants you to call her out her name. She wants you to do all this extra shit. And it's just gonna just back and forth. Just back and forth. But instead of doing that, and this is an example that I could bring up personally from my own life. Now, keep in mind, she was not yelling at me. No. She wasn't yelling at me, but when we were talking, this girl, she just kept cursing, and it was something else she was doing. Cursing, calling me out my name, and no, you know what? Was she yelling? I don't think she was yelling, bro, but she was calling me out my name, and I'm not gonna call her out of her name. That's not respectful. That's not gentleman-like. You feel me? So instead of doing that, I just simply put her in her place with a regular tone. No need for me to elevate and yell or call her out of her name. We're not doing that. I just talk to her at a regular tone, and just straightforward to the point. I can't remember what I said exactly, but it was something along the lines of, what did I say, bro? Okay, I think I remember. So yeah, she had called me out of my name, and then I was like, yo, why you keep calling me out my name? Am I cursing at you? And then she was like, no. And then I was like, so if I'm not cursing at you, why do you feel the need to curse at me? Show the same respect that I'm showing you. Put her in her place. Immediately. Immediately. Put her in her place. And she followed directions, of course, because it's a respect thing. It's not even like I'm trying to pop it or I'm trying to match energy or get into an argument about it. No, it's just showing each other respect. If I'm not calling you out your name, if I'm not raising my voice at you, why are you raising your voice at me? Match my energy. You set the tone as a man. Don't go and try to match her energy and do what she's doing. Set the tone. You're a man. She follows your lead. Moon and sun, my nigga. But yeah, bro. So that's how you respectfully put girls in their place. You feel me? Because we're player, but we're gentlemen. You feel me? Now, another tip, bro, is being mysterious. Now, a lot of dudes think keeping that mysterious vibe means not telling the woman anything about you. Being mysterious does not mean that you just don't tell women anything about you and you just gotta be secretive. Bro, girls still think I have a mysterious vibe, and I tell them a lot. They get to know a lot about me. They get to know a lot of my interests, the things I'm into, my perspective on life, my perspective on certain topics and situations, and they still get this mysterious, nonchalant type of vibe from me. How? I'm going to explain it from what I think it is, but truthfully, I don't really know. But you don't have to just not tell her things and be like, oh, you can find this out at a later date, or you gotta just get to know me more before I can tell you that. You ain't gotta do all that to keep that mysterious vibe going, you feel me? Now, you may be asking, how do I create a mysterious vibe or this vibe as to where she can't read me? And that's simply off of your tone of voice and how you say things. She'll never be able to read you, or when she tells you something and she expects to get a reaction out of you, you don't give her the reaction that she thought she was going to get, and this creates that mysterious vibe because she doesn't know what you're thinking. She doesn't know what's on your mind or how you feel about what she's saying or what she's doing, because you're just holding frame. Not in that red pill way. I hate the way that shit sounds, but that's the best way to say it, bro. When you can hold your composure, there we go. When you can hold your composure, and it makes it harder for people to be able to read you and know what you're thinking, and that creates that mysterious vibe instead of you thinking you have to withhold information and not tell her stuff and withhold stuff to a later date, and then she finds out to stay mysterious. You ain't got to do that, bro. Demeanor, holding composure, that will all create that mysterious vibe to make women not know what you're thinking and what your next move may be. You feel me? Now, the last one is to not be pressed to crush. Don't be pressed to hit, bro. Please don't. That's the worst thing you can do, bro. That's not player. That's not player. And it ain't gentleman-like. You feel me? And that's what this video is all about. Being a gentleman and being player. Bro, if you focus on hitting so much, bro, you're going to kill all attraction. Because women hate overly sexual dudes. Like, in some instances. Like, if y'all comfortable with each other and y'all built the relationship there, then you can, show more of that sexual side. But if not, if y'all not there and y'all just started talking and you just overly sexualize her and always talking about how her body look and all this extra shit, bro, it's going to cause her to be turned off. And bro, what's crazy is when you don't want to crush, or I'm not gonna say when you don't want to crush, because niggas want to hit, You know what I'm saying? But when you're not pressed to hit, that makes women like you more, bro. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Like, bro, I remember this vividly, bro. Me and this girl, we was talking, and we stopped talking after a period of time, and she started talking to other niggas, which is cool, because she wasn't my property. She wasn't my girl. You feel me? We was just talking. We got to know each other. It was chemistry there, but it just fell off because we were on two different schedules, and our schedules didn't really like mix well, so we never got to see each other. So it was just like it kind of fell off. But in that time that it fell off and she tried to go talk to other niggas, she ended up coming back to me, and her reasoning for coming back and starting to talk to me again when we got on the phone and FaceTime, she was like, yeah, all these other niggas just be thirsty, and with you, I don't get those type of vibes. Like, I was talking to these other dudes at work, and they just kept on looking at my body sexually, and I noticed with you, you don't never do that, and you just really be chilling, and it's always a good vibe, and whatever she had said, it was something along those lines. I can't remember exactly what she said. I just remember that part sticking out to me, as to where she wanted to come back to me because I wasn't like overly sexualizing her and making her feel like an object. So when you make girls feel like an object, bro, it's a turnoff. And then they come back to a nigga like me who don't make them feel that way and can have normal conversation and make them feel a certain way, and it's just good chemistry and good vibes, and I'll end up crushing. You feel me? So don't be overly thirsty, gang. Like, just sit back, relax, and chill. Just chill, my nigga. It's gonna come to you. You feel me? Like, if you really that nigga and you good at what you do and you good at building chemistry, I mean, not chemistry, because chemistry is something that naturally clicks based off a sense of humor, understanding of each other, and different things like that. But when you got your game down pat and you consistently getting girls and make girls fuck with you, you ain't got to worry about crushing or not. It's going to come naturally. She's going to want to get hit because she likes you. You feel me? So don't rush it. But that's all the tips you're going to need to know for being a player and a gentleman with girls. So if you enjoyed the vid, if you learned something new, bro, you gotta like the vid, gang. You gotta like the vid, bro. Like, just show some love. Just show some love. That's all I'm asking. If you learned something new and these tips that I just gave you taught you something, like the vid, bro, and consider subscribing. But with that being said, this is just another vid. I don't know if this is gonna be an inside the game. I'll figure it out later, depending on how I like, and yeah, bro, just depending on if I like the footage and if it's a lot of information in here, I'll decide if it's an inside the game or not. But y'all boys be smooth, man.